first trial. My wife's sitting there, loving, dutiful, devoted, faithful wife, sitting in a courtroom every single day at both trials. And the media's in there every day. And they could do whatever they want, these prosecutors. The judge was their guy. And so they're playing all these tapes out of context. They're not allowing me to play tapes we want to fill up the context. They only play 2% of the tapes. They denied 98% of them. To this day, those tapes are covered up because all kinds of people are on those calls. There wasn't anything illegal about it. But, Rahm Emanuel, Harry Reid at the time was the Democratic leader. Every possible big-time Democrats on those calls. But to go back to some of these crazy ideas, I was trying to appoint someone black but not in politics. I was looking for a military hero of some sort. Everybody wanted to make them senators, you can imagine, in politics. I wanted to think outside the box, and we were testing all these ideas, including this. And then I'm talking to my lawyer, Quinlan, and I say, hey,
Here
Quinlan.
it is, NBC. Nothing but respect for our future president.
If that's the case, I'm going to do what Ellen DeGeneres did. I'm going to move to England.
I'm not going to move to England. I'm just going to mock NBC. So what does it say? Yesterday, a tweet about the Golden Globes and Oprah Winfrey was sent by a third-party agency for NBC Entertainment in real time during the broadcast. It is in reference to a joke made during the monologue and not meant to be a political statement. We have since removed the tweet. Right. Okay.
So anyway, I'm at the first trial. They're playing these tapes, and they had to give you these transcript books so you can see in writing what you can actually hear when they play the tape. Mm-hmm. And by then I got used to trying to know what was coming so I could brace myself, And they pick all the unflattering stuff, but none of it's criminal. And if you add it, you put the rest of the cop calls in there, it fills out the context, of course. So in this one particular call, I asked my lawyer Quinlan, "Hey Quinlan, what's the rule again on residency requirements? How long do you have to live in Illinois to be a senator?" And he said, just 1 day, and you got to be 30 years old, and you can be a naturalized citizen or American-born citizen. So I say, because we were not finding the black military hero, why doesn't somebody go to California, ask Halle Berry if she'd like to be a United States senator? She comes to Illinois for 1 day, I'll make her a senator, and maybe I could fuck her. I'm joking around.
Right.
Well, they play this, in court.
Oh, boy.
And there's my wife sitting right there.
Oh, boy.
And I look ahead, and I'm looking at the clock, and there's like 10 minutes to go before noon, and the judge is going to recess for lunch. And I'm thinking if I could just get there before they play this tape, I could at least kind of prepare her for what's coming.
Right.
And I made it. So I tapped her on the knee, and I kind of showed her the book, and I said,
"Goodbye."
Look, I was just kidding. And her reaction was, "What are you, 16?
Well, that's the same thing as like the grab 'em by the pussy comment. It's like,
Exactly.
Guys talk like that. It doesn't mean they mean it. Guys talk like that all the time for fun. It's not, you can say it's misogynist, it's this, it's just shit talking. It's what guys do, and they know that the other person doesn't mean it. That's why it's funny to say.
Yeah, and let's face it, most of us like that stuff.
Yeah, we
Right?
like joking around about stuff like
No
that.
doubt.
It's fun.
And
Maybe
the
I could
odds.
fuck her, and everybody would laugh. Ah! And even if you never did anything or
Sure.
never even intended to do
I am a
anything, you'd
Sala.
say something like that
Remain afraid.
to get a rise out of your friends.
So years would go by, and I'm sitting in prison. I'm making one of my nightly calls home, and my wife's on the phone.
So, we man,
and,
the trail connects.
That Billy Bush
Fight to
tape
the
came
last.
out. Well, that's a slimy thing to do to Trump, right? It comes out, and everybody's writing him off as a president.
Mm-hmm.
He can't win, pressured by his party to get out of the race. And my wife was, offended by it. She's telling me, "You have 2 young daughters. How could you possibly defend this?" And I said, "Let me take you back to a day in court, okay? Before you judge somebody else, look at your own husband." And I told her about the Halle Berry thing.
Right.
And what I said. And I said, this is, as you explained it. And I think people have to realize that so many of these things that are taken out of context are taken out of context for a reason. It is to mislead the public and prejudice them against things.
And that the context aspect of it is very important, because there is such a difference between a statement and someone tapping a phone while people are having a private conversation and talking shit.
Mm-hmm.
And did they read it or play it when you said that?
Both.
Yeah.
Yeah.
People talk shit. Like, you can't pretend that that's what they actually mean. It's one thing if you get someone planning a crime, but everyone knows that people talk that way. You just pretend they don't because they don't in a professional setting.
Yes. Look, I spent 2,896 days because of what they did and how they did it.
So if
in
you
prison.
just went along with whatever they asked and didn't ask for any political bartering, you think nothing would have come of this?
Oh, no, I would have... Oh, you mean just political
If
barter?
you did, if they came to you and said Obama would like you to put this person in as senator, if you just agreed to it, you think
Why has the
none of this
caravan
would happen?
stopped?
The Halani
No,
gates
I think
for
they were
glory.
going to do whatever they did to get me no matter what.
Why?
Because they had spent so much time and money, 5 years.
But why did they do that? Why'd they come after you?
I think that I think part of it has to do with a lot of it has to do with the actual U.S. attorney. His name is Patrick Fitzgerald. He and James Comey are real close. It's this sort of FBI, DOJ type of people who've become part of it. Today's the Department of Justice, and they feel like they're a power center of their own right. That they're this new political place in American government. They are so dangerous to our freedoms in this country. I think it was largely that. He had convicted the previous governor, Republican governor, Ryan, of crimes that he had committed when he was the Secretary of State of Illinois. And so now he could be the first guy in history to get 2 straight governors. And I think it was that. I think he wanted to leverage Obama to keep him in office so he could finish the job and get me after investing 5 years. And he came up with nothing. That's why they invented the crimes from those conversations. And if anybody doubts this, and I fully understand why people would, the question I'd ask people is, will you tell me what side is lying? The side that refuses to play 98% of the tapes that they made? Or the guy that's saying, play them all, warts and all? There's unflattering calls where I say stupid things, or, I'm angry, or whatever the case may be, or I'm using profanity. They replay those. But play those tapes. What are you hiding? The side that's hiding is the side that's lying. And they're hiding it to this day. They covered up all those tapes. They wouldn't even let me play them in court in the second trial, even though they promised that I could play them if I testified at the second trial. And so I got up on the stand, and the judge had promised on the 20th of May, 2011. I thought this was the day I'd be vindicated. He said, look, if he agrees to testify, he can play the tapes to corroborate his testimony. Because I was a lawyer, and I was also a prosecutor at the state level, Cook County prosecutor. And I know how the system works, and I know that if you get up there and you're saying certain things, and one side has tapes of you saying something, and you're saying stuff, but you don't have tapes to corroborate what you're saying, the prosecutor's going to simply tell the jury in closing argument, go back at the jury room and see how many times you hear what he testified to, corroborated by those tapes. And if you don't find any tapes, then you know who's lying. I knew this. But when the judge said I can do it on the record, I felt beautiful. I'll testify, and then we'll play the tapes to back up my testimony. So I get up there, I testify. Then when it's time to play the tapes, the judge won't allow it. It was a setup. And then the prosecutor does exactly what I knew they would do if those tapes weren't heard. He says, go back into the jury room and see how many times he talked about the Madigan deal, because that was the big deal I was about to make before they arrested me. You won't hear a single tape, even though there were 102 conversations on that subject. They were all covered up, and the jury didn't know those tapes existed. It was a total fucking frame-up in a rigged criminal justice system, in a court that was rigged. And that's today's America. And why? What happened to Trump is so important. They did it to him in those different courts where they got the convictions for things that weren't crimes.
Yeah, there's multiple things that have changed our timeline, and one of the big ones is him being elected, because that means they dropped those cases and all that weaponizing of the justice system didn't work. If it did work, that is such an insanely dangerous precedent to set. When you see things like the documents case or the real estate case, which is the most disgusting one, pretending that Mar-a-Lago, that somehow or another someone was a victim because he overvalued Mar-a-Lago, even though he paid all those loans back and the banks profited from it. There was no victim at all. And yet they fine him this fucking insane amount of money and try to say that Mar-a-Lago was worth $18 million. That is just such a slap in the face of anybody that understands. First of all, anybody that understands the property values in that area. It's preposterous to say that place is only $18 million. It's a fucking enormous property and the most expensive real estate in the United States, or one of the most expensive places for real estate. And there was just so many of these cases over and over and over again, that just right in everyone's face. And very little pushback, no pushback from the media at all. They went along with it as if these 34 felonies for a bookkeeping error that is essentially a misdemeanor.
yours as long as you like. Blessings.
Care for a story? Stay in sight.
This place is a tomb.
Greetings.
I hear you. Browse as long as you like. I shall put this to use. something, browse it. I'll unburden you. It suits you. Sans guides you.
Greetings. That.
Speak up.
I hear you. Browse as long as you like. Blessings. My word, I shall put this to use. Goodbye.
Flesh and bone. What is the difference? Face of Paradon.
She's insane!
Insane? Shut your mouth, traitor!